What's up? You in my office? See the Star Wars stuff everywhere. Live in Carcino's office. Now, one of the questions you guys have asked me before, and you wanted me to clear up the confusion of what happened with Toss It Up and No Diggity. This is what happened behind the Toss It Up situation. I thought I addressed it. Um, Let me give you both sides of the versions of the story because Death Row has their side of the story, and so does Dr. Dre. Now, the Death Row side of the story, of course, you guys all know the songs are very familiar. But the Death Row side of the story is that Dr. Dre, is definitely made the beat on their dime, meaning that he was a Death Row member. He made the beat while he was with Death Row. They had the beat, and he left it, so it was property of Death Row. They could use it, and they were going to put it out on the Machiavelli album. It was completed, and it was theirs to be used. And once they heard it on No Diggity, that version came out. There's a version that's not out that you saw the video and what's on the album. Not that version. There's another version that is the exact same beat that was out. A letter went down to put a cease and desist on them using that song because they had leaked it on the radio, and the radio got sent a letter of a cease and desist. So they called Death Row officers and said, we got hit with a cease and desist order saying that we can sue by Teddy Riley and, Dr. Dre. Everybody was going to sue for the rights of them using this song. And they was, man, so they had to stand down on that version of the song because Dre said they couldn't use it. They would have to go to court over it. And Tupac was livid because Dre said, nah, they made that song to try to spite my song. That I made. I made this song. So they had a cease and desist order. So they made a newer version. They found the loophole around the system. And the loophole was all they had to do was replay the music over again, change some riffs, and that's why it's similar but not the same. But you knew what he was doing. Plus, in the original version, Tupac only had one verse in the original version. He had the one version, and then it was just them singing, Aaron Hall and Jodeci, Casey and JoJo. They were doing it. Now, at that time, Devontae left, and so did Mr. Doubt. They were no longer with Death Row at the time. So it was just Casey and JoJo. And then they brought in Aaron Hall and everything. So the whole measure of a lot of things changed too. Because after this process, whatever, you saw a lot of different things started to shift. Like, when the song was released, Tupac, and he was so livid, he went and put the verse in there where he blasted Dr. Dre and Biggie and all them. And he called Dr. Dre gay and all this stuff. So all that's at the end of the song. So once Toss It Up was released, Tupac ended up dying. And that was the last thing he ever did. He filmed the video for Toss It Up. And after they filmed the video for Toss It Up, that was the last rap they had. Like, that was it. It was done. The one they did in the garage. Because it was two versions. They did one when they was on the beach and in the water and all that stuff. So then they did the one in the garage. So and that's what they wanted to do. The club version and the street version. And Death Row was spending the money, so they was all for it. Now, with everything being said the way it was, you're looking at a situation where Dr. Dre and the rest of them said their statement was that Tupac was taking their version and stealing a song to try to spite and affect their sales. And he was like, they made it, clear to a judge that he's done this tactic before with the hit 'em up when, Biggie and them made the remix and they came out with their version of It Don't Get No Further, and they paid for the sample. They actually created their own sound. By playing their own instruments, you can get around copyrights. Back in those days, I don't know what the laws have changed now. That's how they were able to get away with all the sample clearances for All Eyes on Me. They would have real musicians come in and actually play the notes. And it'd be similar, but not the same. So you didn't sample it. Somebody really came in and played the notes. So it wasn't a sample. So you got cleared over the sample. So that's why when you hear Hit 'em Up, it sounds different, but kind of the same. If you listen to the Get Money remix, you will hear it doesn't go no further or whatever. It don't get any other. Oh damn, oh damn. Don't believe I don't look any further. That's it. There we go. So yeah, that remix. Now you get to hear that more frequently when you listen to the other song. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button too, by the way. But that was Dre's side of the story, and it seemed like what they did to settle this lawsuit or whatever, they gave some of the credit to Teddy Riley for the beat. Like, they credit Teddy Riley, so he gets a gross point. They didn't give anything to Dre. They gave something to Teddy Riley. So how it was resolved, I think it was a lot of stuff done behind closed doors. But that is the story behind No Diggity and Tupac's Toss It Up. We good? We're good. Y'all have a blessed day. Go out there and do something positive or productive. I'm out. Boom!